I removed these doors from my TV cabinet and I don't really have much of a plan other than I want to do something with them. So what I need to do is find a way to remove this inner piece of wood, and that will be the beginnings of a new project. It's not exactly a work of art, but I think I'm going to go with this kind of vibe. You have no idea what's going on, but I look at that and I've got a rough idea of what I plan to do with that. I tend to start out traditionally when I'm making patterns on a big notebook, so I can get a feel for the size of the pattern in person. And then I'll take a photograph and take it over to Photoshop to do some colour and be able to make edits to it without committing to them on paper. I've finished drawing up the pattern and I've made a couple of modifications just to make it A bit easier to cut and B, a bit more structurally sound for when it does actually get leaded. I'm going to do this one using the copper foil method, and I'm already looking at all the pieces of glass down the outside edge, and I know that that's going to be quite a long time to foil, but I think it'll be worth it. I think it'll look really nice, so I'm going to stick with it and remind myself how good it'll look when it's finished. Next, I'm going to transfer this pattern onto another piece of paper that I can actually cut up. I'll cut up each individual little piece and stick them onto my glass, and then I can use those as templates for cutting the glass down and for when I grind it too. I'm already having second thoughts about my colour choices and I'm changing them on the fly. Could end in disaster, could be the greatest decision I've made so far. I'm lucky enough to spend most of my life surrounded by either really creative or green-fingered people, and I'm currently away from my house, and so I've been given a run of a different garden to do some creative projects in. I've been really enjoying watching the butterflies and the insects on all the flowers. It's an absolute riot of colour. We're back in a heat wave, so I've got some nice shady spots to hide from the sun and continue with my stained glass projects. Today I've got a day of grinding glass pieces. I cut up the pattern and stuck it onto each piece of glass with just some basic Pritt stick. And so today I have to go through each piece and grind it down into the shape of the pattern piece so that they all fit perfectly together. Because I've stuck on the pattern piece with glue, it does mean that when I grind it, the grinder uses water, so it washes the glue off. So I have to be really careful as I go to make sure I don't lose the pattern piece too soon into the grinding process. I'm getting there. I've ground most of the pieces of the edge so far. I've still got the middle pieces to cut and grind too, but so far so good. When you choose to do a complicated design like what I'm doing here, you have to see it through even if you're not 100% happy with it. And what I actually want to do going forward is to be a bit more experimental with colours and designs, and so make things that are simpler that I can make faster, so I can create a set of things and learn from them quicker. This is one of those projects that takes ages. I've already kind of learned my mistakes and I'm ready to move on from it now. So future projects will probably be a bit simpler in design. That's not to say I'm not going to get it finished though. I'm going to see through all this copper foiling, and then next we'll be on to the fun part, the soldering. It's come to my attention that there's probably a reason why people don't make stained glass pieces as complicated as this one that I'm working on, and that would be because it takes ages to cut, and it takes ages to foil, and it takes ages to solder, and I'm probably going to end up spending about £20 worth of solder on this. Basically, you need a lot more of everything, including time and money and energy and patience. I don't know how much of any of those things I have right now. The soldering is now done, and if you look up close you'll see that already the solder lines have started to oxidize. So that is what we need to stop next by cleaning the glass, giving the solder a polish, and then applying a black patina. It might seem a little bit odd to choose to apply car polish to my finished stained glass piece, but there is method behind the madness. This car polish contains polishing compounds, tiny particles, which remove oxidation from the solder. This means that when I go to apply my patina, there's no oxidation to get between the patina and the metal, and so the patina goes on much more consistently and creates a much better finish. The car polish tends to get embedded in the crevices of the solder quite easily, and it's hard to remove. So I tend to go in with a toothbrush, give it a scrub, and then buff it clean again. have it. This stained glass window is complete. It definitely ended up being more of an undertaking than I had originally planned. I got a little bit carried away with the design and made it into too many pieces, and it just took a really long time to make. So I've kind of learned my lesson there, but I'm really proud of how it turned out. And I can't complain too much because I come away from the whole experience with something really cool and handmade. There is one last thing that I would like to do before I call this project done, and that is get this piece mounted up in a frame and up for display. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.